Let me quickly introduce myself with a little trademark introduction. Yes, in fact, my name really is Matthew Schmoker.
I don't know, he's one of those people, when I see him in the building, I'm just like, yay, Schmoker's here.
My favorite story is about what he overcame as a teenager.
He let us know who he really was.
He's very special to me, and if I didn't have him in my life, that I don't really know what I would really do.
How many of you have literally put your lives on hold for other people? Just in hopes that we feel a little bit more acceptance. My mom said, Matthew, you have 36 hours. 36 hours. Son, in 36 hours, these doctors are prepared to pronounce you dead. 36 hours. 36 hours. This is my story. It was a cold September day, and we had to run 4 laps around the football field. I struggled with my weight, a very heavy young man at the time. Matthew Schmoker has a brand new record in this junior high. That teacher crushed me for running the mile the slowest. It took me a little over 18 and a half minutes. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. From that point forward, life was never going to be the same. And for 3 years in junior high, it was nothing but absolute hell. I hated school because all I heard was this: you are fat, ugly, stupid, a waste of time, a waste of space. You're disgusting. Nobody's gonna want you. Nobody's gonna love you. You're gonna be lonely, miserable. In fact, just give up. For 3 years, I heard those words and endured a tremendous amount of abuse. I would come home from school with my clothing torn, being bruised and scratched. I'd be pushed up against the wall, kicked to the floor. I remember asking myself, what is it about me that nobody's going to accept? I don't understand it. I've done nothing to these people. January 1st, 1996, I put my life on hold for all those people who could care less about me and went on a quest to change my life. Look at me right now. This person you see before you will be completely different 1 year from today. So I went on a diet. I cut out the candy bars and the weight started to fall off. Hey, there are those that say that exercise kind of works. I don't need breakfast. I mean, who does? I cut out lunch, started exercising for 6 hours every day, and the weight continued to fall off. I found myself to be motivated by the most potent motivation there is: anger. I would look in the mirror every morning as I got ready for school, and all I would see was that fat, ugly, filthy idiot that nobody would love, nobody would accept. At its worst point, I was surviving off of 4 rice cakes a day and drinking a gallon of water. I was seeing a medical doctor. Matthew, if you continue down this road, you just might lose your life. Doesn't that matter to you? In a little less than 9 months, killing myself in the process, I went from 285 to 142 pounds. If you have ever seen pictures of Holocaust victims, that's exactly what I began to look like. You were looking at a young man that suffered 2 heart attacks at the age of 17. My skin was turning gray. My hair was falling out as I would run my fingers through it. I was losing my memory. My friends had to walk me around school to show me where my classes were. And you're probably asking yourself, what? I don't get it. You are miserable. You're hurting. Why would you continue to do this to yourself? And the answer is very simple. I wanted to prove everybody wrong. And I woke up in a cold sweat and I had a moment of clarity. And so I got up that morning, I went into my mom and dad's room, I woke them up and I said, Mom, Dad, I need help. I was admitted into a hospital where there I was put on medical stabilization and intravenously fed. That is a tube shoved in your gut. My stomach shrunk to half the size of my current fist. My heart rate was only 32 beats a minute. That second day in the hospital though, I became afraid. I looked out into the hallways, I saw my mom and dad talking with the doctors. And they began to sob. Matthew, you have 36 hours. My mother looked at her firstborn child and patted me on my chest, kissed me on my cheek, and said, Matthew, I love you, and we are all going to miss you. So I went on a quest to achieve a 36-hour miracle. I had this attitude. If you cannot accept me for who I am and what I want, that is perfectly fine, because I will walk forward in this world with or without you. That 36 hours stretched into 48 hours, which stretched into 72 hours, and then 5 days and a week to 2 weeks, where I was strong enough to exit the hospital and return to the Tri-Cities and prepare for my senior year of high school. So what happened to that person that people said would never amount to anything? Well, graduated high school with honors, with a full ride scholarship to any university in the state of Washington. What happened to that person that people said would never amount to anything? Well, graduated college with honors and the top 10% in my major department, and stand before you today as somebody who knows exactly who he is and what he wants, and refuses to allow anybody to define his success and his happiness. Tom said, Matthew, you have 36 hours. 36 hours. Son, in 36 hours, these doctors are prepared to pronounce you dead. 36 hours. 36 hours. This is my story.